touch him. No! You... What did I do? It's an accident. Freaking Vito. I got the triple collapse! Oh! Ah! Oh, Danielle, go to the fire thing. It teleports us.
I want my money back.
I trusted you! Trombone. This one is trombone. Yo, I got it! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! 24 hours done. 24 hours finished.
Oh, time to beat 23 hours, 28 minutes.
Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Oh my god! I couldn't have done it without you guys.
What the fuck up? Holy shit!
Wait, it went through? I gave him 50 bucks. I didn't put on the light thing. I'm an idiot. I knew something was off. There we go. Yo, how's everyone doing today? How are you doing, Nathan? How are you doing, Dinell? Yeah, hopefully you'll get it soon. Still don't have it. Sheesh. Let me change the default state. White is too boring, so we gotta go blue. 3, 2, 1. Boom, baby. That's better. That's why my place looks different. Because I just, the lights were white. Oh, you're drunk? Well, you're gonna witness me doing a run drunk. For those that missed it yesterday, we didn't go sub an hour because I'm a dumbass. And I made a lot of big mistakes, but yeah. You talked to Mills? Okay. What'd you talk to Mills about? Or maybe don't tell me. My armpit hair. Anyway. Should we get straight into it? Just about how she was? Oh, okay. How they are. How is Mills? And how I was. And how are you? Yeah, did something happen? I saw you tweeted something like something happened a few days ago. I'm kind of tired. I'm not gonna eat the mic this time. I'm gonna put this down. Oh, I like that better. My bike mirror broke. Aw, that sucks. I had to press the off button. Someone dropped it. Why did someone have it in their hands? I don't really understand. Yeah, the motorcycle. I'm aware. Do you take out the bike mirror often? Oh. It was on the street, but someone just took it and broke it? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm too dumb. I'm so tired. I don't know why. Oh my god. Because I usually don't stream Friday nights. So, I don't know. I just feel tired. I don't know how. I guess someone backed into it. Okay, that makes sense. You said someone dropped it. I was like, what? Why are you very drunk? Just Friday night, you always drunky? Drunky boy. Oh my god. Bro, my shorts channel is about to surpass my main channel. What the hell? What? I put up a video 2.5 hours ago. It has 3,000 views right now. YouTube shorts are a very interesting thing. All right. We gotta get into the goddamn runs, bro. So, let's get into them. First, speed run on. Do stuff off. Boom. There we go. Yeah. This is always too loud. It was in an awkward position. Aw, that sucks. How much is it gonna cost to replace? Okay. Let's goddamn get started. Wait. I remember this time. Let's give money to Miskiff. Miss Kaifu. I think he's with people. He is with people. Oopsie doopsie. All right.
Real DTP. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
What's going on?
Twitch Prime. I appreciate it. Zeph,
E.
Twitch Prime.
$200? That sucks. That's a lot of money.
Twitch Prime. I swallow cum. Thank you.
Let's donate. What do I say?
Fleece, name of the
Fourth
sponsor.
day
Young Darb for the
on
sub. I appreciate that.
Start to play.
Fierce Link
fourth
for the 2
day
months. I appreciate it.
grinding.
Troy Flute for the gifted
Shut up!
sub.
Shut up! Shut up! Fourth day grind. I swallow cum. Fourth day grinding. SM64 will get sub an hour today. Low. Let's see how he responds.
Is that good enough?
I think he'll respond today. It looks like he's just reading what everyone's saying.
The ones that are saying yes are subscribed. The other ones are pissed off because the money didn't go through. Death V2, I appreciate it.
Mario, shh. Shh.
We do like that name here. Dude, Sierra, are you excited for the for us playing we're probably, dude, chat, OTK.
Where is it? Is it gonna
is
pop
getting
up?
together this week. I know, surprise.
I hate that game.
Is it gonna pop up?
And I think we're gonna play Among Us.
Did it pop up already and I missed it?
'Cause it'll be fun.
It probably
I
popped
think
up,
we're gonna
didn't
play Among Us and we're gonna play other big, massive party games.
it? It
called
must have
OTK
popped
Game
up
Night.
already.
It's gonna be fun. The question is, will anyone from OTK besides me, Seer, and S-Fan show up? Probably not.
He's kinda hot. Not as hot as me,
Probably
but
not.
yeah, he's pretty hot.
It starts on Wednesday. Yeah, we'll get Snuffy.
According to my thingy, it said the tip went through.
That'll be great. We can get Snuffy.
I think he just didn't see it
We'll get Will Neff.
or ignored it.
We're supposed to play Dying Light 2 with him tonight.
Sponsored, I think.
I actually turned down that sponsorship.
Or maybe it didn't pop up yet. We're gonna wait like another minute.
Yikes. Big
I'm not that
yikes on my
patient.
part.
I want to do a run.
Big L on my part.
See, I turned down the Dying Light 2 sponsor because I knew it was a bad game coming out.
Is it
and
gonna
I'm not
come?
nice to myself.
So
I do
she
not wanna
said.
play that game.
I know it's a zombie game. I don't like zombie games, but a lot of people seem to enjoy it. So
It's just not my style. It's not Mario.
Tips will show up for sure, bro.
Pop it. Pop what?
What?
Do I have a pimple?
Do I have a pimp? Oh
I look
my
batshit
god.
crazy.
No, you look hot according to Dino.
pop up the camera real quick. Watch this. You ready?
Oh.
Go.
Is that it? Okay, it's not. It's not. It's not. Okay, it didn't work.
Dude.
That's a cool jacket. It definitely did not work though. That's okay because we're gonna freaking beat this game anyway. Tonight. Rip. That's okay. It's okay. He's a big streamer. It's okay. It doesn't matter. We're gonna get sub 20 anyway. Look in your eyes. Alright. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I remember how to goddamn play. No! I have to erase everything. Oh, what did I do? Yeah. Huh? My fastest time is not 55 minutes. Huh? What? What's going on? Bruh. I screwed up everything. As a combination of your best times? What? Huh? You fell asleep. What was your timer yesterday? An hour and 4 minutes. But what's going on? Why is this blah? It says an hour and 4. But it doesn't show an hour and 4. Compare against best set. Oh, it's what you said. Best segments. Okay. Personal best is better, right? Put on personal best. Ready, set. Well, no, not ready. Ready, set, go. I'll give myself like a second because I know pressing the start button is a few seconds.
Dear Mario, please come to the
Dear
castle.
Mario,
I have baked
please
a
come to my
penis.
penis. I've
Yours
baked a
truly,
penis for you.
Princess Toadstool.
Princess, her last name is Toadstool? What a disgusting last name. I just realized. Adds your times from each segment and shows what you could get. But yeah, my best possible time is 55 minutes. I think aim for sub 55. I don't think I could get it if I don't screw up on anything, but I always screw up on well, so far I've screwed up on something every time. If I go sub an hour, I'll be happy-ish? I don't know. Obviously, if I go sub 30 minutes, I'll be happy, but that's very unlikely. Let's do Lakitu skip. Oh! I actually did it! That's the first time I did it during a run. What the hell? First time I did it in a while. Bro. That was cool. Okay. Yahoo! 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 Ow. I usually don't get hit by that. Shit. Are you serious? Bruh. Why is it so hard to hit this shit? Let's go. Thank God. Alright, I mean, I'll get gold, but Lakitu saves 8 seconds, so. Oh, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All I have to do is get 2 minutes in every section, and then I'm doing really good. Ow, why did I do that? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to like move quicker, but it's not doing anything. Okay, this is hit or miss. I guess I never miss, huh? Let's go. I don't think we'll get gold here. Gold here is like pretty hard, I think. I'd have to do this part perfectly. Like I did, I think everything perfectly. Like perfect for me at least, without screwing up anything. Fuck. You see, that was terrible. Ooh, that was good though. Okay.
Here we go.
Let's go. I have to get that.
Let's go.
Let's go. Here I am. Here I am. Rock it like a hurricane. Doo-doo-doo. Rock me like a hurricane. Is this too far away? Is that my problem? Okay. That's good. What? Okay, that's not good. That was dumb. Alright, I don't feel like doing that right now. Because I keep screwing it up. Shit. This run is not starting off. Lakitu skip was nice, but Okay, that's good. Let's try to go through him. Good. 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 Okay, that was good. That was good. Not gonna lie, that was pretty good. I don't remember the words to this song. It's loud. Come on. It's hungry. I have to go. I really hope I get this time. Come on. Ow. Ow, I actually suck. Here I am. I think I was too far away from the area. Okay, I think this is good. Or I hope it is. I like to look at my controller for yes! Okay. I was too far away from the plank. That was definitely the problem. Or at least that definitely seemed like it was the problem. Okay. Nice, thank you. Two more stars. One of which is much easier, or not much easier, it's easier than the other. IQ plus, let's go. You gave me positive accidentally. Shit. I did miss that, so I guess you could, yeah, I missed it twice. Ooh, I actually made that? Wait, can I skip all this? Shit. I think I could skip this. Maybe I could skip this by going up? Oh, I can't. I tried. That was a waste of time, but now I know. Of it for sin. Here we go. Here I am. Rock me like a hurricane. Hell yeah. Here I am. Oh, sorry. I burped. Now the owls should pop. Oh, I forgot to go for one of the, I'm an idiot. Oh no, I already went for it. I'm actually not an idiot. This is the last star. I did it so quickly, I forgot that I went for the one on the side with this all the way to the left. Shit. I also die if I... Let me get coins. That's not good. Still above my... I'm still doing good time-wise, so that's good. Where is he? Where's the... There it is. There it is. 0 IQ. Alright. Where are you going, owl? The hell are... What is he doing? The camera is fucking with the owl. Are you serious? I'm actually triggered. I really hope I don't miss again. Okay, let's stop playing around, okay? I'm gonna concentrate. The first time I thought I got it, to be honest, but... Bro! What's going on? I never missed it that many times. Or maybe I did. I never did on a run. Well, maybe I did. I never felt like I did. Sometimes you just get unlucky though, yeah? At some point you'd reach some sort of wall. Yeah, but this is not the wall that I should be reaching. This is I've gotten this so many times. Not so many times, but bro, I'm gonna go crazy. What the hell? I have to wait for it to go a little longer. I don't know why I keep screwing up. You'd eventually not get it. Yeah, but like 4 times in a row. That's like too often. I literally lost my lead because of that. That's it. Like I'm falling behind. Obviously, I could make up lost time, but no, I don't want to restart. Jesus Christ, that took way too long. It's only 8 seconds. There's no need to restart. I'm not a Chad that could do like 14-minute speed runs. If I was, I wouldn't have screwed that up, but. Where do I go now, actually? Oh, here. Ooh, that was a cool roll into it. Okay, here things could go well, and they could also not go well. So let's see what happens. That was good? That was good! First try. Very good, okay. Okay, that's gonna save me time for sure. Bruh. There we go. Oh, that was sexy. You can't even lie, baby. That was so sexy. That's why you don't restart when you still suck at a game. I'm gonna take the risk for the second star here, though, because I always tell myself if I could get that first part, I'll take the risk for the second star. Let's do it. Shit! Maybe I shouldn't have taken the risk. I mean, I'll still be fine. You should do some quick warm-ups. Nah. I like going right into it. I like going right into it. It's more fun. We're gonna go the safe route. We'll get you to your dumbass mother, Penguin. Don't worry. Oh my god. Here's your child. Your child. Oh, whoa. Wow, gold. Even with the screw up. You've gotten good. You need quick practice on harder parts. I don't want to warm up. I don't like that. I like going straight into a run. Plus, I could do another run afterwards, and it'll make me feel better, you know? Since I already had the warm up, if that makes sense. What am I doing? Best time, possible time, 52 minutes. Right now? Oh, it's gonna be even better. See, if I screw up here, it could be really bad. I screw up here a lot. Alright. Okay, that was good. What did I do? That was so bad. It's okay, it's okay. I could screw up here like 4 times and still be okay. Put your hands up. I should have side flipped. I wasn't confident enough to side flip. Okay, that's good. That's not good. But it could be good. There we go. Okay, that's good. We'll wait for the fire. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, bro. Oh, that was crazy. I have to bookmark that. Kind of rare to not see Doctor. I I tend not to stream on Fridays. So he could have just legit, maybe he always does something on Friday, you know, or something, I don't know. But yeah, I suppose so. Everybody, put your hands up. Okay. I've learned that you could long jump that. Okay. Body. Oh. Okay, I'm not taking the risk here, though. Okay, this is the best bits I've ever had. Well, assuming I don't screw up the rest. See, I see people do this differently, so I might learn how to do this better. Jesus. Come on. Jesus, that's always a bit scary. I'm not taking any risks here. Oh! It just lagged. What the hell was that? Or not lagged, but I don't know. The camera was so weird. Jesus. Good, good, good. That's definitely the fastest I've ever done that. Whew. I remember last night's lightning all around me. Come on. That's good. That is so good. That's definitely the best I've ever done. By far. That's a gold. Your voice was all I heard. You've got what I deserve. Give me a reason. Look at that timing, baby. Best time 45 minutes. Assuming I don't screw up more than I usually do. Wait, where do I have to go here? SSL. Sometimes I get confused there. No, wrong door. Freaking dumbass. Okay, there we go. The dumbass being me. Truth behind, or else this will divide. I should probably do that. Oh my god. Did I literally just do that? Jump in! Bro, what the hell? There we were standing. Why didn't it jump? There we go. Bad. Terrible. Good. Where is it? Are you kidding? No, shit. That hasn't happened in a while, bro. This is going to be a bad SSL. I mean, it already is with all that screw up. That was bad. What the hell? Bruh. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'm just gonna do my strategy. I'm not gonna do other stuff. Bro, what's going on, man? I'm screwing up on the easy parts and doing better on the harder parts for me? This is so weird. What the hell's going on? I'm literally wasting precious time. Okay, I'm getting that. Stop it. Stop. What's... Okay. Jesus Christ, bro. My personal best is 248 here, though. We're not gonna get 248, obviously. Notified. I think that's bad. Yeah, that was a bad angle. That was not good either. It's okay, the bird takes a while to get there. Maybe not that long, but... Bruh. The birdo is waiting. What are you doing, Mario? Bruh, I'm gonna punch myself in the face. Jesus, that took way too long. Yes, 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 yes. Go for the bird. Really? Did I just get hit by him? What the hell just happened? It took me way too long. Still 12 minutes, good. This one's gonna be fast. That's fine. Shit! What bad timing. Bruh. Ooh, that was gold? I could definitely improve that. I'm surprised that's gold. I never could be able to long jump to this for some reason. Where's the goddamn rabbit? Toad. It's not a rabbit. Give me the star, bish. Give me the star, baby boy. Let's go. All right. This should be Gucci. Gucci, Gucci, ga, ga, ga. Oh, that was close. That was weird. There we go. I thought I didn't hit that for a second. Oh, okay. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Don't fall. Always something scary. Let's go. Ah. There we go. Ooh. Gold, baby. Let's go. Oh. Wait, this is a side jump. Yep. Oh, this is gonna lose me a lot of time. Bad ping. I did not think he would go this way. What? Shit. God damn. No! Yo, the camera freaking... The camera screws me up, bro. My God. No! Stupid ass. Oh, no! I just remembered my trick here. I wait. I change the camera angle. Instead of chasing it like a dumbass. I change the camera angle. And then I think. Change the camera angle. Take my time. Why doesn't it change? There we go. What? I thought it would go the other way. Damn it. Change the camera angle. And then think. Nope. Yes! I thought. I'm a thought. I mean, I thought. Good thing is we're close to the door as well. That's 2 minutes spent here. It's not bad. Okay, can we change the camera? Jesus, there we go. Still Strong's SR on. Huh? Still Strong runs. Yeah, baby. For sure. Come on. I definitely have to spend more time practicing this. Is SR on? No. Yes, song requests are on. Yo! What's up? How are you, bro? For anyone wondering, that's my cousin. Shit! Happy belated birthday. Sheesh! Oh! I did it. How you doing, bro? Are you serious? I'm a dumbass. Wait, wait. Turn around. Turn around. Turn around. There we go. Yes! I'm drunk, remember? Yeah, I do remember now. Bro, I can't see the goddamn monkey I was about to say. It's a bunny. Yo! Okay. Now I have to do the same thing here. Damn it. Oh. Yes! Okay, that wasn't gold, but it's yellow. I'm speedrunning. You ever saw this game? You chilling? Nice. Very nice. When was the last time you were in New York? I feel like the last time you were here I was in Japan or something. Ah. Swim, little buddy. This is like the chillest part of the run. Jesus. He's dancing. Yeah, song quest is on, so people, y'all could put music on if you'd like. Exclamation point, music. Swim, Mario. Natural side, everybody's. I don't know if I could spam this or not. I still have to look that up. I'm like a dumbass. Hey, churro, how you doing, bro? Mustard pink? Is that like French? How you doing, bro? How's your son's math going? Couple of years for sure. Damn, that's crazy. Oh my god, I need to not screw this up. Yes! Yes! Are you serious? There you go. Oh, didn't do that well there. This song's been my earworm. Yes! This song has been on my mind for like a while. Okay, I screw up a lot here usually. This song has been on my mind for a while. I don't know why. It just has. But I got into it like a few months ago, and then I was like, yo, this song's mad good. What the hell? Let me try this. Oh, okay, it worked. Let's see. Yes. It's like master, but master. Yeah, I know. I was just playing with you. Still haven't figured out the math. He's getting a blue collar job. How old is he, if you don't mind me asking? Damn. Hopefully you could come soon to New York, bro. Ah! I almost just killed myself in a video game. Ah. I could actually die here if I'm dumb. Oh my god. On a natural side. What device are you playing this on? I am playing on computer. I'm playing this on computer. On an emulator. Oh! No, no, no. No, 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 no! Oh, yes! I think this is gonna be my best time here. I've never done this good on this. Jump! Oh, yes, baby, let's go! Time to verse Bowser. You've been on my mind for a while. Sheesh! I don't sway that way, but he's 12? Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, his math might get better. Watch this. Ugh, perfect timing. Come on, Bowser. Ah! I'm playing this on PC with a PS4 controller like a weirdo. He's gonna teleport again like an asshole. Watch this. Bruh! There you go. Shoot me with fire, bro. Yo. Oh, he's such a wussy. Yes. Okay. Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah. Let's go, baby. That's the fastest I've ever done that. For sure. Your phone died? Welcome back, baby. The math be all 5x plus 1 equals 2x plus x? Oh, 5x plus 5 equals 2x plus x squared. Right? I don't know. Boom! Gold, baby. Best time is 44 minutes. What the hell? Have you ever played this, David? BLJs. I forgot if I have to go in here or not. I forgot. I might have just done something really stupid. I don't remember. Oh no, you know what? This works. Bowser has been known to be an asshole. True. He had sex with Princess Peach. He's more than an asshole. He's a lucky guy. Oh, I guess he's not really a guy. Now, what will ruin the run? If I get this in one try, I'm gifting 5 subs right now. Okay? Alright, this is better in Mario mode, though. There we go. Why are you really sad? I gotta say, I miss Sophia, but I'm too awkward to message her. Well, you're drunk, so maybe don't message her. I thought you don't stream on Fridays. I don't. But I want to stream every month this... I want to stream every day this month. Because Mario, baby, it's gonna take commitment to do good in this game. What's up, Angel? This could be an epic run. Go through! He's not gonna go through. Okay. Yeah. Ooh! I almost had it. Him and Mario have done things as Bowsette. Yo, Bowsette is mad hot. Not gonna lie. It's me being drunk that got me in this situation. Yeah, so probably don't message her then. I haven't been drunk in a while, I guess. I haven't gone out drunk in a while. Hey, yo. Yo, Bowsette is mad hot. What are you talking about? Bro, I always gotta take off the music for this one, bro. Oh my god. I can never get this goddamn thing. That's it. We're gonna listen to Mario's sexy-ass voice saying, Yahoo! I don't know what I said, but it was not good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Starting to get used to the camera also. Yahoo! Go through, you fascist! This is the hardest part of the run, for those wondering. I basically have to phase through the door by going, Yahoo! A billion times. Oh, like that. I almost had it. What about Boozette? I don't know who that is. Oh! That's good! That's so good. That's so good. No way. Come on, bro. How did I screw that up? Shit. This was Halloween. I regret life sometimes. I'm a lurk now. Okay. Oh my god. Yahoo! Yeah, Yahoo, bro. Yahoo is dead already. Use Google. But I don't know. Mario is dumb. Oh, just go through the door. I'm gonna look at my controller. He's supposed to go, yeah, like he's retarded, you know? Ow! Stop! Come on. Yes? I always screw it up. I think because I have a PS5 controller, I touch the touchpad. That looked good. Buzete is the boo wearing the crown. Oh. Buzete is mad hot. What? Nah, Buzete just looks like a person. I don't know, man. Oh my god, Mario! I could do this. Because David is here. No, because everyone's here. He's supposed to go, yeah, and he went, yeah, Yahoo, AOL, AOL sucks butt. For a second, I was like, why are you saying owl? I was very confused. Oh my god. Come on, Mario. Funny thing is, the fastest I've done this was 6 minutes. Ooh. So I still have time. I mean, this and the next part, but the next part is easier than this. Go through, big boy. Come on. Bruh. Bruh. That looked so good. Bro. It's like I get it and then it screws up. Go through, go through. I'm pressing the controller like I'm about to break it. I'm just gonna put back the music. Yahoo! 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 I don't want to make everyone else go crazy. As crazy as I'm going. Bro, Mario, look the other way, you fascist. There you go. Good job. That's so good. That is so going through. Yes! I didn't actually think it would. Isn't that cool, guys? Ow. Oh, it's Princess Peach. Oh my god. Okay. Here it's easier. Because it's an endless staircase. There we go. Let's go. Okay, not bad time-wise. I could do it sub 50. What the hell? If I don't screw this up. Come on.
Yahoo ooh Yahoo ooh Yahoo ooh Yahoo ooh Ping Pong has been learning the dick
Nice,
bastard spirit.
You're
cranberry,
bored? I'm sorry.
raised eyebrow, camera.
This game is not for the faint of heart. Yeah, I don't think people like watching this game. Some people. Did I do that? Oh no, I didn't. I'm gonna take my time here. It was? Ah! It was what? Wait, it was what? Yes! Bruh. Bruh! Bruh! No! Oh my god! It was a fun game. Yeah! I always run into that because I'm a nub. But not this one. Don't believe it's fair. I don't want to jinx anything, but this is looking pretty good. It was a fun game. It is a fun game. Hey, listen, next month we're gonna do GTA RP roleplay. Maybe. Go up the pole, baby. Pole dancer over here. Ping Pong has been learning the dick twist. I just read what you said. Damn it! I gotta take my time on this. What? No! Oh. That was very lucky. Song request? Oh, do exclamation point music. Yes! Okay, that was good. If you're the person who is playing it, not too fun to watch. Well, it's cool to see, like, that was dumb. That was very dumb. But I'm blessed with being lucky. Ah! Bro, that was actually the best I've ever done here. Oh. This is a good run. Balls. Balls. Come on. I don't know where the hell I thought I was throwing him. No, he fell. Balls. Let's get him closer. No, you fascist! What the hell? Did I just die? Oh my god, I'm trash. That's okay, that's okay. Listen, if I get sub an hour, that was my goal, but I think I could get sub 50 minutes now. Bolas huevos. That's in Japanese, right? Testicles. You spelled it wrong, bruh. 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 No, Bowser. Bowser or Bowsette? Bowser for sure. Did that hit? Bruh. Aha. I wonder why he doesn't teleport in this mode. In the last one. Okay. Sperm home. Boru. I suppose that's true. I could just regular jump over that. I didn't even realize that. No, where am I throwing you? You stupid, dumbass Mario ping pong masters. Damn it. Whatever. We're gonna throw him closer. We're just... Bro, I'm actual trash. I'm actual trash. I'm actual trash. I'm actual trash. Oh my god, if he fell off. Yes. Yes! No, bro. How? How did he not? Yes, no. Oh my god, he's so annoying, bro. I could have sack of siblings. I could have even done better, and I screwed up. Bro, you're at the edge. The edge of glory. Come closer. I can't grab your tail. I can't grab your tail. You asshole! I was so close. No! No! Wait, what do I do? I have no way to get back to him. Are you kidding me? Do I have to restart the run? I'm so confused. Did I just lose? Like, that's it? I have to restart. Oh my god. What's the best PS1 emulator for PC? I have no idea. Gomenasai. Alright. Yo, my hands hurt doing this type of stuff. Oh. Sperm home. Lamau. Alright. I'm so tired, bro. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. That's what she said. Let's do it. Well. I'm tired. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, Mario. I'm tired, not you.
It's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Hello.
Sorry, for some reason it freezes. Sheesh. Every time I reset, so... Oh, there we go. I was gonna fix it for this stream, but I didn't have time. I was putting a bunch of shorts up. Twitch shorts. YouTube shorts, I mean. PSX for PC. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, Dinell is awesome. Oh, I just realized the timer is still going. Close splits.
So long, Bowser.
Open splits. There we go. 104, bro. We could have beaten that too. That's what I get for dying.
Okie dokie.
Oh,
Dear Mario, please come to the
it's
castle
okay.
and bake
It's
cookies.
okay.
Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Well, now I know I could get like 45 minutes done though. You suck ass? Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's 2022, bro. You suck my mom's pee-pee, okay? My ass? No, I don't touch your ass, okay? Angel, you're too young. Yeah, man, that's the one I use. Churro. PSX for PC. Are there many emulators for PC? The reason men hate women. I saw that video on YouTube. You get it next time. I had this though. I had like to skip, which is insanely hard for me to do. Now that I don't have it, that's like time waste also. I mean, it's only like 8 seconds, but you're not 18, bro. I don't know the song, but it sounds okay. Did you watch that video, Churro? Jesus! How'd I mess that up? Why'd you winky face? What the hell? Drunk Dinell is, Drunk Dinell is, pedophile Dinell. I forgot the word. Are you serious? Why is it so hard to go on top of this? That's what she said. Let's go. That's not that bad. Bro, joking. I don't like a man. Well, he's not a man. He's a boy, so. Oh! What is this from? This sounds mad familiar. I still got gold here, though. I think I had the same time last time. Which is good. What is this song? I should have side flipped. I just saw it in my queue. Oh. Yeah. The reason men hate women. It's a cool video, I guess. It's a really weird, it's a very trippy video. I was like, what the hell am I watching? But I like that type of stuff sometimes. What is this? This is so familiar. Yo, this is giving me like nostalgia vibes. What is this song? Na, 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 na. What is this from? Don't tell me, don't tell me. My heart will go on. By Dragon Force? But it's from something. It's like from a show or a game or something. Was that too close? It's like an opening to some song, no? I think that might have been bad. That's bad? Shit, it was bad. Titanic? Ah. Bruh, how am I... What am I doing? There we go. Jesus.
Here we go.
Is it only from Titanic? Yo, the song is based. Jebaited, jebaited, jebaited. Jabasted? You didn't even say jebaited, Angel. I just realized that. I have to get this or I suck pee-pee. If I don't get this, I'm actual trash. Come on. Well, I'm actual trash regardless, but I need to get this. Is that too close to the plank? What? Oh my god, that's never happened to me before. What the hell? Really? Oh no. Alright. I'm not doing it again. I'm skipping it for now. Really? Oh, what was that sound? Bruh. What reset? Why would I reset? Do you know how much time... You put this in a song? Do you know how much time I lose on later sections? Oh my god. I don't need to reset. Plus, I get more practice this way. How did I miss that? I'm like doing so bad. You see, I did better the first run, bro. And that was without warm-ups. And the first run was a warm-up for this, and now I'm doing that worse for now.
Here we go.
Yeah, mine. Your heart will go on? I hope so, Angel. My dog's heart might not go on. He's, it might have cancer. Which I found out... Well, we're gonna find out today or tomorrow, but he most likely has cancer. Which sucks. But that is life. Maybe you shouldn't have messed up. Well, maybe you're right. I shouldn't have. Listen, this is one of the hardest parts of the run. If you don't do it completely right, you're screwed. Oh! No, I was looking at my controller too much. Shit. Oh my god. Bro, at this point, I kind of want to reset. Oh. But it could still be a decent run. Who got cancer? My dog most likely has cancer. I don't know yet, though. Yes, finally. That took like 4 tries. This run could still be okay. Because remember, last run, I actually messed up on one of the stars. One of the last stars. So if I don't mess up on it this time, so we should be okay.
Let's go.
Let's go! Let's go! 2 more stars here. That was bad. That was bad. What am I doing? There we go. We'll see about that. Ah! Bruh. Why would you say we'll see about that? You think it'll be a bad run? Ah! Bruh! Sorry. Sorry. What are you, triple? What are you, Canadian? Sorry. Why you sorry, bro? Unless you're the one that gave it to him, there's no reason to be sorry. That is how life is, unfortunately. Oh, that was actually good. My wife is coming home with the dog right now. What? Wait, she's coming home with the dog, meaning that I'm confused. She just got a dog, or she's like walking the dog and she's coming out with the dog now? She's walking the dog, yeah? I mean, he's 11 years old. So, it's like, it sucks, but he's also old. But he has so much energy, it's like a shame. Like, he actually loves going outside. He loves being around people. Yes. Oh, I still golded it. Let's go. She just bought a Corgo. Oh, how old? This music helped me, and you're telling me to reset. This is my best. I'm going gold on 2 things, bro. CCM. What's CCM? This is CCM. Whew. My left hand. The music is great. I like it, yeah. It feels like a good music if you're gonna smoke weed a lot. Alright, hopefully I could do these jumps well. Kuru Kuru Mountains. 7 months. Did I screw it up? Did I screw it up? Ooh, yes! Make it your general pee-pee break music? I could do that. Did I screw that up? I knew I screwed that up, and I still did it. Alright, let's not die. But listen, I have to do it, because it's a time saver in the future. So I don't mind wasting time on, like, a few new tricks, you know? If it'll eventually save me time. You see it? Like, how sexy was that? The song's also so good. The song sounds nice. They're very chill music you're putting on, which I don't mind. Pretty much rap music is the only music where I'm like to a lot of rap music, not all of it, but everything else is pretty chill with me. Said it a lot on stream, but just saying it again. Come here, you goddamn penguin. Come here, bro. This penguin playing games, bro. All right, we're not gonna try the real way. We're gonna take the long way. I'm too much of a dumbass. This penguin is annoying me. There's your penguin. There's your child. Oh. Oh, yes. That actually works perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but gold, baby. Here we go. Say less. Playboy Cardi. Ew. I mean, that's so cool. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. I mean, I could skip music, so. Ha, joke's on you. Bruh. There we go. Bruh. Baby metal? What is that? Metal that's babyish? Oh yeah, heavy metal that's insanely crazy could be too much too, but heavy metal, like normal heavy metal, I think is okay. Ooh. All right. Don't screw up. Don't screw up, Mario. You know what? No, I've done this so many times. I'm a pro. Let's go. I'm a pro. Yeah! The hardest part of this level. Maybe. No, really? I really thought that would hit. What the heck? Oh, that did though. It's heavy metal for babies, so it's chill. Fair enough. I don't know how to go through this. I guess I could do that to go through this faster. Oh my god. Jesus, I almost died. Yes. Oh. Okay. Let's not screw this up. No. No! What am I doing? That was so bad, bro. Oh my god. That was actually terrible. I don't know. I messed up. It's not like I did it on purpose. I jumped because I thought I could make the coin. Listen, to get better, I'm gonna have to take risks, okay? Like this. L indeed. It's still a decent run, I think, though. Ooh. Ripping. Rip indeed. Perfect time to use that, perfect time to use that reward. That was indeed a rip. Jesus, I almost glitched off the map. I get to this area faster though, so it's okay. Oh my god. Oh, that was close. Jesus. Oh. It's okay, you see, we already made it back. Oh. Oh, I forgot to smile. I didn't smile because I didn't mess up. Look how good I'm doing now. Oh. I should have done that last time. I should have just waited. Oh, I almost missed that. I think there's a faster way to do this though as well. Jesus, how scary did that look, guys? Sheesh. We're still okay. You want your points back because I didn't smile? I never promised to smile. I didn't see the reward. Hey, you have your rap music, okay? That's worth like a bajillion points. Yes. Here we go. I'm a rock star. I put my pee-pee in my poo-poo. I beat Bowser with my hoo-hoo. I got the rhythm of a cuckoo. I'm a terrible rapper. And I suck at throwing Bowser. And I should stop playing. And I forgot that Bowser won't hit me because he sucks ass. Yes. Let's go, baby. We're still doing good time. Come on. Let's go. I'm just happy to see you play. Aww. I have no idea how you're doing this run. I couldn't even play this game normally. Yo, same. But when it came out, I was a kid. I don't think I've ever beaten it, like, as a kid. I died so much. Same. Honestly, it's just practice. I don't know. Where am I going? Am I going in the right direction? Oh, I am. Bro, sometimes I feel like so dumb. I remember playing this game when I was 5. When you were 5? Jesus. Oh, I didn't know I could slide like that. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't have a 64. I would play off ledges all the time and die. Yeah, I didn't have a 64 either. I used to play it on DS. Ooh, first try. That's good. Nope. I screwed up a lot here as well. Good, let's go. I went to a friend's house and beat it. Nice. Honestly, I didn't think I would get this good by now. Not that I'm that good now, but I'm learning it better. I'm younger than you. What do you mean, Jesus? No, just the fact that you played it when you were 5. That's pretty cray-cray to me. I don't even think I had a console. I can't even recall what life was like when I was 5. That seems so weird. There's the bird. There we go. Ujigatu. Poo poo doo poo doo poo. Let's go. Yo, we're doing better than last time. Of course, BLJs and everything else we have to do, but good is under 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. But what I should say is I'm surprised I'm getting, like, I'm learning the tricks fairly quickly. Like, I thought it would be much harder to actually do this stuff. But you just get used to it, you know? Oh, Jesus, that confused the hell out of me. Oh my god, I actually suck. Okay, I recovered fine, okay. I recovered okay there, though. Everything gold! I actually played it when I was 4, probably. Jesus. I didn't get a PS5 till I was 6. Bruh! A what? PS5? I think you're a bit too drunk now, bro. Talk! Jesus. Who's punching the air? Yeah, so you could do exclamation point song request, or you could just do exclamation point SR. I feel like that's, you know, easier, but your decision, of course. Way too high. Way too high. Oh, I almost screwed that up. PS2? Oh. Right, I never... My parents didn't want to get me consoles. They hated the fact... No! Are you serious? They hated the fact that... They hated games. They probably are like, what the hell is he doing now? Bruh. They hated the fact that I... Like, they didn't like this idea of playing games. The only reason I ended up playing games is because my uncle got me an original Xbox when I was younger. Stonks. Pronouns music? What? Oh, yeah. Stonks. Come on. My parents would buy me consoles and then decide later on they were evil. I don't think... Maybe my parents bought me one console. Yeah, they definitely... I think they bought me 1 or 2 consoles maybe. But they really hated it. The craziest thing is because, like, obviously, when you have siblings that are... Jesus Christ, what am I doing? Bruh. Bruh. I'm actually gonna... I'm gonna yell. What the hell? The crazy thing is, for those of us that have siblings, you see, I didn't get gold on that. That was really bad. For those of us that have siblings, it's like younger siblings especially, it's much more lenient with them, you know? Which is what it is, you know? I used to be annoyed by that, but it kind of just is what it is. My parents did too, but my uncle convinced my dad. Cool. Yo, what's up, Cortez? Do you just come in here for points? Oh, how did I not catch it? How you doing, Cortez? What? How did I not catch it? Okay, okay. Jesus. I can't see where the hell this dumbass thing went. God. There we go. Stop it! Yes! Yes. What is this song? Excuse me? I'm just joking. I'm joking. How you doing, Cortez? Does Emily play game? My parents did too, but my uncle convinced my dad. This is the baby metal, I'm assuming. Yeah. Jesus. Emily plays. She loves Fortnite a lot. My dad was learning. PS2 was also a DVD player, so my dad wanted that. Yeah, my dad thought about that also for the Xbox One. Bro, stop going through the door. How did I not catch it? Yeah, the STDs. How did I not catch the STDs? Is that what you're going for? Is this a Japanese song? It is. What the heck? Yes. Get closer. No. What the hell happened? Oh my god, that's never happened to me before. I'll re-chat in a moment. Sorry, guys. Oh, I did it in one try. Come on. Well, not one try, but... Bruh. Bruh! What's going on? I hate my life. I hate my life. I hate my life. What the hell's going on? I might have heard of it, but not. My dad was learning community science when I was a kid, so he got us to Commander Keen and Doom, then decided Doom was too evil. What does he think of that now? Or like, I don't know if he's still alive, but like what did he think of that later on in life? Oh my god. Can we like... Bro, this is actually triggering me, man. Not because it's taking so long per se, but because like... Because I was so close, and I keep going through the door. Like this. Like, stop it! Stop it! Dinel, don't do that. You don't talk to him anymore? Gotcha. Bro. Clip me through! No! Ah! Bro, I'm literally gonna punch the wall. Your thong is pretty alright, but the song's alright. Is this the song? I like it. But I'm biased. I like most Japanese songs. Bro! Bro! What's going on? Is it glitched? What's going on? This has never happened to me. I can't tell if it's me or the game. It's probably me, but... I'm actually stressed right now. I'm like pissed off. This should not take this long. Bro, I think the game is bugged, bro. There's no way. There's no way that I keep clipping through it and the freaking dumbass rabbit just is like chilling. Yeah, put up. My dad bought us an NES. He threw it away when the game stopped working. Never did blow into the cartridge. Damn. Yo, I don't know why blowing into the cartridge always works, but... Bro, it's glitched, guys. It's 100% glitched. This is not supposed to happen when you clip through. This is like dumb. It's glitched. 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 Mips Bunny glitched. Mips can't grab Mips Bunny. What I do is just try to get the Mario's right foot a little past the door.
I'm tired.
or you suck, but I've never done it like this bad. Or at least I feel like I've never. His... What is this song? Mario's foot a little bit. No, it's glitched, bro. It's goddamn glitched, bro. There's no way. There's no way. Like, what? And then I still hold Z and make Mario faces nips. Am I not holding Z? Is that what I'm screwing up on? Did I actually forgot one of the more important things of this? Am I a dumbass? Am I a dumbass, guys? Don't answer that. Is it because I do Z afterwards? Maybe it's because I'm not holding Z the entire time, but that doesn't even make sense. That's triple G song? What? You've only done this 20 times. What? Blowing didn't work. It was the removing and reinserting of the cartridge. Really? Nah, really? I'm gonna just pretend I didn't hear that, though. What is this song? It's glitched, guys. It's glitched. It's... I suck? It's not glitched? Yo, this song sucks. I guess it wasn't glitched. Oh, Jesus. That took way too long, though. I don't like that. Jesus Christ. That's still green? You suck. Prove me wrong. Alright, whatever. I don't care anymore. It's triple G on the weekends. It's a side hustle. Wait, that song before was his song? It sounded like a copyright-free song. Which is diss, but also not a diss at the same time. Because if that's what he was going for, then, you know. It's triple G. It's DACA free? DACA? Isn't that the thing with the children? With the immigrants or something? Sheesh, it's DACA free, guys. Bro, I'll be really sad if I die, though. This run is really bad. My best possible time was like 45 minutes before. Now it's much lower. Jesus. Nice. I didn't know what a pronoun was until now. That really helped a lot. What the hell? Did you put the Pornhub intro?
Here we go.
Here we go. We call them emies now. What? We call what emies now? Yahoo! Why is the next song not playing? Oh, your song was not able to be played on YouTube. Whoever put that next song. You made me waste 2 seconds on the run, bro. If I get less than an hour, whoever put that song is getting banned. Forever. Oh my god! I hate my life. Haha, I killed him by accident. I don't hate my life anymore. That worked. That somehow worked out. Immigrants is too marginalizing? Oh. Emies, sorry. I haven't heard that one yet, but wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing in the future. We live in interesting times. Okay, I've screwed up here before, so let's do that. Oh my god. That wasn't bad. And I gotta wait. Chamber of Reflection. I have DASA. You do? Shit! You're not a child. That's okay, that's okay. Oh, I'm getting better at this game though. This is meant to happen, by the way, guys. Let's go! This might be really good this time. Oh, I can't grab his tail right away. Shit! Shit! There we go. What am I doing? Doesn't he teleport? Or not in this one? Hit me with the fireball, bro. No! Bro! What the hell? Thank God I had enough. Oh, this is my last life. No more lives. Shit. If I die here, I cry. If I die, I cry. I should have just thrown it little by little. I don't know why I didn't. I get too cocky sometimes. Oh. Okay. Come on. Like this. Throw it a little and then get closer. See? There we go. Jesus. If you die, you reset. Nah, chill. Not me. If I die, I don't reset. I'm not at that point yet. Almost at that point. Bruh. Ooh, I still got a gold. It's all about the BLJs now. I mean, I have 3 lives now. Obviously, if I don't die at all, that's like my best run before I have to learn new stuff, right? No more free requests. You get 2 requests, and then once your song plays, you could put more music. Imagine I got it. Imagine I got it first try. Just do a 24-hour charity stream bit. If you die, you reset. BLJ, bacon, lettuce, jobs. I think that's what it stands for, yeah. Why do I feel like I've heard this song before? Oh, it stands for blowjobs? Never mind then. I don't know what it stands for. 24-hour charity stream? No, I'm charity. Give to me. What 24 hours? If I do a 24-hour charity stream and every bit I reset, it would have to be more. That's so going through. Let's go! That was the fastest I've ever done it on a run. That just saved like a few minutes, guys. Johnny's luck just came through. Poggers, backwards long jump. Oh, that makes sense. Oh my god, bro. What am I, a goddamn speedrunner? I don't think I'll ever get it that fast. Jesus. Oh, this is like last run. Now I just have to make sure I don't screw up anything here. You're getting good? I'm getting decent. But yes, thank you. I still have a lot of stuff to learn. A lot of... Like here, I think there's a shortcut to triple jump there. But I never do it. I can't even pull off a BLJ. Oh. I've been practicing for some time. Ooh, yes. That was faster than usual. The thing is, I only have 1 life, so if I die, it's over. If I die to... Stop! No. Oh my god, that was so close. That would have been annoying. Give me the fire, baby. Yo, that plan actually screwed me up once. I tried in the 0-star spot. It's very hard. Oh, like in the intended spots. Charity gives good. Beal, no! No! I could have waited. What was I doing? Oh, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. Okay. Jesus Christ, that's never happened to me. Jesus. Stop. Jesus. Listen, if I get sub 50, I'll be happy at this point. Ugh. What did I do? I don't have enough health to do that. Why did I do that? Shit. Good thing is this gives me health. Okay. It's like the game knows you're gonna screw up there. How did I screw up here, though? I think because I was trying to read chat. Sorry, chat. I'm not gonna read you for a bit. Might as well try to go for that. I don't even know what to do there, but... Oh, no. That's fast. Yep. I think I might... If I missed a message, I'm sorry. Not that I've tried, to be fair. Yeah, that's what I mean. I've tried this... Been playing this game. I mean, it's my 4th day playing, so it's not like I play it, you know, so much, but... Oh, my God. Did not mean to do that. That's a first, also. Okay. Here, I should take my time. I never take my time. And there we go. Now, as long as I don't die to Bowser, we should be good. I don't know this song. What is this song? Sounds nice, though. Shit. Your stupid ass tail was nowhere to be seen. I don't want to be on fire. Get out of here. Shit. Oh, I have 8 lives. Never mind. Just aim randomly. True. Yes, hit me with fire. Hit me with fire. Honestly, he should teleport here. I have no idea why he doesn't. Shit. He shoots the fire way too quick now. There we go. No, bro. Take your time. Yeah. Shit. That was a bad jump. I tried to be cool with that jump. Maybe we go for a different one. Here, this one. Oh my god. Why is it so hard to aim? I like to see the female tour. I like this song. It's funny. That must have hit. Yes. Shit. I have to spin a lot for this throw. Shit. That was terrible. That was terrible. Shit. Come on. Really, bro? No! I jumped off. I'm such a loser. It says I only have 1 life now. Bro, if I die here again, I'm just gonna cry, bro. I lost the last run right here. My PB is 7 minutes in the section too, which is doable to do right now. Dumbass, I am a dumbass. I got too excited. Bro, just shit fire at my face, bro. There we go. Bro, okay, good. No, I am not falling off again. God damn it, bro. Get closer, bro. Get closer, Bowser, you dumbass. There you go. Get closer to my face. There we go. Bro, I was about to say, if I missed that, I'm actually trash. Bro, that did a lot of damage. What the fuck? I don't know where I just threw him. Where am I? Oh my god, I didn't know where my character was, bro. Oh, coin. Stop jumping! Jesus. Hit it! Oh my god. Jesus Christ, if that didn't hit. Oh my god. That was scary. I really hope I get this one. I don't know how to get this. Bro, I'm so bad at aiming. Yeah, that hits? Shit! I could die right now. No! I was getting up, bro. No! I suck buttholes. Thank God I'm still alive. Wait, can I just keep going for this one-up every time I die? Well, I know what I need to improve on at least. Bro, go in the hole. God damn. I'm gonna be sub an hour though. Right, guys? Imagine I'm not sub an hour. Yo, those BLJs were actually insanely fast though. That was insane. That was like a 1 minute BLJs. Preying on a Knicks fan's downfall. Okay. Why does he do it twice sometimes? Bruh, you're such a fascist. There we go. I'm taking my time here. Come here. Come on. Again, this? It's not getting annoying yet, so. If only you could get those hits. True. The thing is, I wasn't that terrible at it in the past, I feel. My movement got much better, though. Throw him little by little. I knew that would happen, and I still did it. Bro, how did I miss that? I'm actual trash. What? That hits. Okay, I was about to say. Oh, I caught him pretty quickly. Jesus, I could have died right here. Oh my god. I need to get this with this song on. Yeah, almost. Come here. Bowser, you're mad far away. Do you understand? There you go. Hit me, yes, hit me. Good job. Is there any right here? Oh my god, yes. I'm done with life, bro. What the hell? Let's go! This is game. Ah! I get so many tries though. Bro. I'm done, bro. Am I gonna get sub 50 at this point even? Thanks, man. Thanks for the cheers, guys. That's it. I'm gonna get it. Yes! you guys, the cheers worked. That's gonna be... what's the time gonna be? Sheesh, I miss that so often. Day 4 speedrunning. First time in my life, baby. And what's the time gonna be? What's the time gonna be? 49 minutes, 13 seconds, baby. Pretty bad, but we got green or gold on everything, so. Let's go. What's up, doctor? Oh. I gotta practice my throws. Or I guess with the runs, I want to just do runs, bro. It's so fun. Sub 50, let's go. Yeah. But that kind of shows me that I could do... Yo, doctor, the BLJs were crazy, bro. The BLJs this run were like 1 minute. This is the second run. First run, I died at Bowser and I had to restart the last Bowser. What are they on a speedrun ranking? Nothing. 49 minutes is like nothing, I think. My goal, which is sub 20, less than 20 minutes, that's like top 100 in the world, I think. Oh, you've been here? Oh, my bad. He did BLJ in under 50 seconds. Yeah, that was crazy, right? Well, Doctor saw it or was here for it, but yeah. Oh, that was fun. So if I look back at everything, I think my best is going to be like 2 minutes here. WF I could probably bring down to like, this could be 8:20. Maybe 8 minutes by the end of this.
Mario.
I should be able to do this faster, actually. And then we have CCM. CCM I could do slightly faster. I need to learn the way.
Thank you, Mario.
This I have to stop dying in. I'm not dying in it as often. SSL I have to learn the other way, but I'm not going to do it this time. I'll do it later. HMC was okay. MIPS was a bit annoying. Huh.
For Mario.
I feel like everything was pretty decent, actually. Except BitFS, like all the Bowser maps. And
Mario.
And WF. You were making me lose my mind when you didn't grab 1-ups. Yeah, I didn't realize I could do that. He did build, yeah. Peach is gonna go and make you some peach. Wow. Bro, I actually, I hate this. I hate this song. I'm sorry, Johnny. I freaking hate this song. I hate this song so much. It's so annoying. But since you don't song quest often, I'll leave it on. Oh, I'm so tired. Ah! We're gonna go for another run. Lamau. Sorry. I don't know why I did that. We're gonna go for one more, maybe 1 or 2 more rounds. Of course, it doesn't reset. And now we're good. For some reason that doesn't happen. You rank 3,169th? Really? Pretty bad. But we're gonna do even better now, bro. Alright. Best possible time, 38 minutes. What? My best possible time is practice MIPS first, please. My MIPS wasn't too bad. Nah, I don't want to practice it. Should I practice MIPS? Oh, how about this? If I don't get PB this time, I'll practice MIPS. I feel like MIPS, I don't know why I kept screwing up there. I'll just try to pay more attention to Mario's right leg. But yeah, I should do MIPS. I should practice MIPS today. Listen, it's Friday, okay? I just want to chill and I just want to do it. That was an
Start
accident.
to play.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Dear Mario, please come to the castle. I
Yo,
have
you got any new shiny Pokemon, Johnny?
Princess Toadstool.
I actually have something I want to add to stream that I'm really, really excited for. I need a programmer for it, though. So, I'm like really excited for that. So I'm probably going to try to get that sorted by Monday, hopefully. Maybe. I don't remember. Last time you caught the little bear Pokemon, I think. Shiny. I've just been progressing. You haven't been shiny hunting much, yeah? Shit, I'm on the wrong screen. I'm on the wrong screen. I'm on the wrong screen. Okay, we're good. Jesus. That lost me a few seconds. I might actually need to care about seconds soon. Damn it. That was bad. Sleep next to me. What is this version? What the hell? In my dreams. That was like the worst I've ever done in this area. What the hell? That's not true, but in a while. What was that? 5, 'cause every time we touch, get this feeling. Every time, 'cause I swear I could fly. Who requested this? Dinell, thinking about the girl, the woman. I still suck ass in a lot of areas of this game, including this area. Shit. Ooh, that might be actually a PB. What do you want to improve in this run? Everything. I mean, I just want to play another run. I pressed the wrong button. Oh, I got gold though. I just don't want to die. That's what I want to improve. I just want a run where I don't die. Oh my god, what are you doing? Mario, I'm trying to get there faster. What? Oh my, bro, my movement is so off right now. I just don't want to die once. My time. Yeah. PB, whatever. I just started forgetting her. Why did you remind me? Sorry. Zoom in! Zoom in! Zoom in! I love zoom in. I don't want to die. I think if I don't die, I could get a really good time. And obviously if I get BLJs and I get stuff in first try, obviously, that would be... Get up! My movement is so bad right now. I don't know why. If my movement was better too. I think that's good. That was... I actually pressed the wrong button. That was so dumb. Ska version? What's ska? Scuffed? Okay. Bruh. There we go. That's not too bad.
Here we go.
Here we go! I liked that song. What's a ska version of a song? Okay. This could be okay. This could be okay. Whoa! Come on. Should I do that? I feel like that's faster. I think I'm more... I think I'm more confident to do that. Jesus. Yes! Okay. What's ska? Yeah! What? The camera's terrible? Ah, we got it. It's fine. Oh, if you love me, lonely. The sad thing is, I didn't even try that normally. I pressed the wrong button on my controller. I was like spacing out. I think because I'm a little tired. I don't know. I really like this song. This is probably my song. Bruh! What the hell? I literally just wasted like 8 seconds. I'm trash. You know what? It's fine. If I get this first try, it's fine. Okay. That was bad. Even Mario got hurt. He's like, what the hell are you doing, bro? What's going on with my movement, bro? Okay. Oh my god. How did that not work? Good. Yes. Nice second try is good. Yeah. But I didn't get it. How do people get... What the hell? I don't know if I hit him. What the hell? How do people get in front of him? You know what I mean? Do they side jump? I need to know how to do that so it's a little faster as well. This reminds me of Rock Band. Yo, did you ever have Rock Band? I used to have Rock Band. I don't think this will be a PB. Oh, this is definitely not a PB. My PB was 6:48 here. I'm not going to beat this in 30 seconds. I've screwed up so many times already. And we have 2 stars left. And I just freaking forgot to jump for some reason. It's not that bad. Oh my... Though. Bad. That was bad. That was good. That was good. That was a risk. That was worth taking. That was a risk worth taking as well.
Here we go.
Wait, in last run, this took me 8 minutes 57 seconds.
Let's go.
So we're doing better than pace. That's good. Unless I'm understanding that incorrectly. Take me out. Na, 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 na. Yes. We golded that. What the hell? I did not think that was a gold. See, this just reminds me that like I have more to get better in. like look how much I'm messing up just in moving around. 6 minutes you were looking at was just the split. 8:57 is the split plus the beginning. Ah. Yeah, the 6 minutes I was looking at was the... Oh, I see. That makes more sense. So that right now took me less than 6 minutes, essentially. Yes! Bro, I've been getting that a lot. Not a lot, but I've been getting that recently. Oh, that was close. Let's go. That was definitely maybe the best. I'm not going to do the risky way for the second part. I'm just going to do the slow way. Because I think the slow way is still okay for sub 20. It might not be, but I might have to learn it eventually. But
Let's go.
let's go, little penguin. There we go. Here it is. Here's your baby. Ooh. That was good. Yo, that was really good.
Here we go.
When you feel really confident with risky weight, you can use it more. That's what I've been doing. But yeah, I think you're right. But that's what I've been doing. When I feel like I'm more comfortable with certain things, I just do movements that I feel like are more risky. That's probably how I've been getting good better runs. Like doing this side flip. I screwed up now because I forgot where I needed to go because I'm a dumbass, but the 6 minutes are no. Yo, all this music reminds me of music I used to listen to when I was like in like middle school, high school? I don't know. This is where things get tricky a bit, obviously. I think I was too slow there. Ooh, maybe not. Yes! Okay, that was good. Now I just have to go the rest of it. Obama? Did you just say Obama? Obama! Yes. Like, I feel like that's riskier, but if I perfect side jumping onto that, it could save so much time, you know? Or like even moving here like this. I wasn't doing before, but now I feel a little more confident doing this. Oh shit. That would have been bad. Oh, Jesus. Get up. What? That confused me, bro. The one-up confused the shit out of me there. Yes. Come on. I think there's an easy... I keep saying this, but I think there's an easier way to do that. Jesus, I almost screwed that up. Sheesh. I could still screw this up. Okay. Yeah, we should be good. Yo, these are all like old songs. I think that might have been my best bit DW. I have to throw him well. If I throw him well, this could be really good. Na, 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 na. Dumb ping pong. But is there one here? Good ping pong. Churro got some early 2000s pop punk for sure. Okay, that's definite. What? I was like, did the game lag? What happened? That's definitely the fastest I've done this area. What? The button didn't work. Oh, that was annoying. It's a little faster than that, but whatever. Let's go. Crazy how you're not even close to 20 minutes. Well, yeah, like my movement still sucks. I'm still not implementing certain... tricks. Like right here, there's a trick you could do to save some time. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not good enough, or I didn't practice it yet. I'm just trying to get decent with what I already can do, you know? Like I've gotten much better at that. Like, to get the coin from the bird, I think you could get it in like, I don't know, 10 seconds. But the way I'm doing it, it takes me 30, 40 seconds, and you know, all of it adds up. I knew that wasn't gonna go. I don't know why I continued it. That was bad. Also, just jumping here, like, Getting that first try would be better, obviously. Stupid ass tornado, bro. Oh! Never mind. That worked out. See, that wasn't my fastest SSL because I kept falling. I love these variations of like famous songs. It's cool. You see, like, I'm trying to move faster here, but I'm obviously not doing it well. Bruh! I was trying to be slick and, like, do it better. And I'm just, like, screwing up instead. Like, that was really bad.
Here we go.
I also need to get triple jumps better. Yo, this stupid guy doesn't. You have to talk to him at an angle. It's really weird. Despacito. I think I might learn bomb clip soon. Pretty sure this run is RNG based. Why? There's like no RNG involved in this game. What are you talking about? I mean, maybe there is, but probably not much. Let's go. That was pretty decent. Despacito. I wish I knew the words to this. Like the placement of the puzzle in the lava zone. Oh. That might be random. I'm not I feel like it isn't. Why did I do that? Oh my. Oh, I recovered somehow, bro. I could have died there. That could have been really bad. Shit. Oh, that was gold? The heck? The lava zone, where the balls roll down over there, I think that's randomized. There's definitely random stuff. There's some RNG, but not so much that you can't get sub 20 like if you're good, you know? This is what Doctor told me to practice. Shit. I thought that would work. The stupid ass bunny. Ow. Oh my god. I could catch him here. Shit, I suck. Oh my god. Really? I hate when he runs this way. Stop running this way. Shit! Was that difficult? Bro, shut up. Isn't your PB like 2 hours? I just phased through him, bro! Oh, it's not difficult. It's very easy, bro. But, yeah. I don't remember which way gets there faster. Is it this way? Must be this way. There we go. There we go. Oh my god, bro. Bro, I'm gonna go crazy if I can't grab him. Oh my god. I never really tried. Now I will. Alright. Alright. There we go. Oh, don't get mad. I spent a lot of time on this last run. It's okay. Jesus, camera, go away, bro. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. Like, that part's not hard for me. At this point, it's not hard to phase through. It's hard to grab him for some reason. Which I do not... I guess because the placement is messed up. I think that's what it is. My placement has to get better. I gotta place him a little to the side, I guess. Like, you see, like, I could get that pretty frequently. It's just grabbing him is hard. There we go. Oh. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Jesus. IQ plus? Never mind. There we go. There we go. I've gotten better at that. I have to get better at catching him. That's what I gotta get better at. Let's go. Don't stop believing. I need that song. If Blink-182 wrote it, that sounds interesting. Oh shit, the fish is after me. What am I doing? I'm not paying attention. I was reading chat. Imagine I'm wasting time on this and I could be improving. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That button doesn't swim as fast. Bro, I'm actually trash, guys. I'm actually trash at video games. What the... That's such a dumb mistake. I think I'm too tired to do, like, good runs. That was terrible. Alright, Mario. Hold your breath, bro. You might be able to clip through parts of the wall to go faster as well. We already know. That I'm tired, right? Not that I'm done. Oh my god, this is also an old song. Nope, don't go under it. Fuck. What the heck? Yes. Yes. Okay, that was not good timing. But look at my best possible time, guys. It's all gonna depend on BLJs here. Or, you know, obviously if I die multiple times, that would be bad. She's an animal. Go for the one-up? Nah. Sorry, doctor. I won't need it, baby! How good was that, baby?